And here we go. It is Friday. Happy Friday, guys.
It's Friday. It's Friday already.
I
Didn't we
know
just talk to
the week
everybody?
flew.
I know. I know. It's so fun.
Kind of
Go ahead,
happens when
Ellie.
you're having a lot of fun.
Oh my God. Guys, if we seem exhausted, that's because we've been dancing around, jumping up and down, and the goodness of the universe is like, oh, they want more. Oh, they want more. And I'm like, yes, I do. But I now understand what it means.
Great
Be
picture.
ready to be ready. Be ready to be ready. Don't be patient. Be ready. And when it comes in, I'm telling you, you better get yourself ready because it's going to hit you so many Tyson, bam, of
I'm
goodness.
like, right? Seriously, it
Yes.
goes back to the episode that we have. Don't be patient, be ready, because when it hits, oh
Oh,
my
when it
God.
hits. Oh, when it hits. MMA got nothing on this hit. It knocked me out.
You,
It's so awesome.
this is episode 24, and the title is The Inside Out. But
Mm-hmm.
what Mike, you were actually saying is, it makes me think of one of our past episodes, and one of the saying, "When it rains, it pours." Like so many sayings have different meanings now. When it rains, it
Yes.
pours. It's like goodness, like the goodness won't stop.
Yes, yes, yes. And you've taught me this too. Be selective about which quotes you embrace and which ones you don't. Like, and I'm only going to say this, and I don't repeat this more often. I don't repeat this often because anything negative we just learn to stay away from. But this is for an example, and that is bad thing or things happen in threes. So if somebody's experiencing a bad thing, they expect another bad thing, then a third bad thing, and then they know after that point they can turn things around. That is something you don't express, and I don't even like to talk about it that much because your brain is always wiring and firing, as Joe Dispenza says. So anything negative, but for teaching purposes, that is a quote that you don't really want to embrace. Even certain hymns like um, Reverend Brown, what does he say? Save a wretch like me, Amazing Grace. One of the worst songs you could ever sing because it says to
That's
save a
true.
wretch like me, and you're not a wretch, so don't sing that song.
Well, that's beautiful because it's a nice segue into the inside out. We are just talking about
Mm-hmm.
our inner conversations and songs like that,
Yes.
Save a Wretch Like Me. It's your inner conversations that make your outer world reflective, what your
Yes.
inner thoughts are. And we had such a great beginning conversation. We always have to stop ourselves and save it for the show
I
before we get
know.
too
I know.
far.
Exactly. It happens every time, but we love it.
But what this stemmed from was Mike sharing personal story. And I have my own personal story, but we all do it. We make assumptions of what we think will happen or what someone might think of us. And it's a truly made up, right?
Yes.
You've done it, I've done
Yes.
it, something truly made up.
Everybody's done it, to
And
be honest with ourselves. Every person.
everybody's done it. And even us, like as we practice this alignment and we've been in there, you still catch yourself doing it. You still catch yourself.
Yes.
And we'll give you a clear example. For mine, this make it really short, this one individual had wanted to take me somewhere and I was excited, oh great, we're gonna go. But then they said, let's not go to this state because I'm not really feeling great about the whole pandemic in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this conversation I said in my head was first, I was fine with it, but then I left myself by myself, and that's when the conversation started. And I said, wait a minute, this person just wants to show me that they're in charge. They are just making an excuse up, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make them take me on that date, and I'm going to show this whole big story. And guess what? A few days later, same person calls and says, "Hey, where would you like to go instead? Anywhere you like. Anywhere you like, except for that location. We'll still travel. You
Yeah.
pick what." And I said, but I had stopped myself because initially I was going to go back and tell that person off. I caught myself and I said, stop. You don't know why. That
he
was
was
because
being
he
true.
told
He
you
was
why it
right. Right.
was
And we
actually
took it
being
and
true.
went to exactly. Exactly. Elle. And thanks for being transparent about that because and we do these things, everyone. I say guys sometimes, but I do mean everyone, female and male, when I say guys. So don't think I'm just talking to guys. But we we don't need you to tell us everything, even though we love hearing from you. We just want you to make sure, and most importantly, you tell yourself and be transparent with yourself because
Hmm.
ultimately that's the only person you need to be transparent with, not your family, not your mother, your brother, just you, because you're what makes your world revolve. So us being this transparent is just to help maybe that person that's struggling be like, oh, I never thought of that. And Elle, that story just, I'm sure resonated with so many people. It resonated with me just again.
Hmm.
And long story short, piggybacking off of Ellie, I have somebody in my family, extended family, and I had this assumption of them. And so I was talking to Elle, and she has helped me so much. When I was talking, I was realizing, and with her background of studying and learning these things about how people's mind work, she helped me see through that how much of it was really going on versus how much of it was I assuming. And guys, I'm going to say this: 90% of it was actually me assuming that story. None of it had actually technically happened. It was all me going, "Oh, every time I do this, I know what's going to happen because that's who they are." Blah blah blah. But here's the beautiful thing: my sister and I and my entire family have been on such a high with so many other beautiful distractions that when the moment came up where a person would normally act the way they do, that neutralized that reaction from that person. They couldn't even act negative because of us not paying attention to them. So, in the moment when I had that negative thought, stick with me with this. When I had that moment of negativity, so much positivity of momentum had built. When the moment came up and they reacted differently, I was ready for a moment of negative fighting, but my positive momentum overrode everything and allowed me to take a step back and go, holy shit, that
Isn't that
whole
funny?
scenario didn't even play out the way I thought it would
Exactly.
because I was being so positive about everything else. Even the person got on board with my positivity, and I got to recognize that my thoughts about that person were being cultivated by my assumptions.
Correct. Correct. And how often do we make choices, we make decisions based off of things that have not actually transpired?
They
And so this is
haven't.
why it's such a big, they haven't transpired. And that's why this is a really big topic, the inside out, because
Mm-hmm.
it's your inner conversations and be mindful of them. And what we always say, awareness is the new yoga.
Yes. Yes, it
And so
is.
we bring you awareness to what's going on inside, so then you can
Yes.
be mindful and have the flexibility to shift.
Yes. Everything's a choice, right, El? Everything's a choice.
Everything the
You
choice.
think you don't have a choice, but the thing is, the when you reason you don't think you have a choice is because you have a hardwired pre-existing system that you've created about the habits that you form. And you've done it for so long it actually appears like it's not a choice, but it still is a choice. That
That's
habit
so
you
true,
form
Mike.
appears as if there's no choice. And because that's the only thing you look at, it appears there's no other choice. And you're like, this is it. I'm telling you, my boss is an asshole. Listen, this is what he does. I hear you, Mike. I hear you, Elle. But that's the conversation you create in your mind. So are you wrong? No, because that's what you believe. What if you chose otherwise? Then you would see otherwise.
You do. It's so true. And I just want to share because it's just something STEM this to be shared for a child. And I only want to speak on myself in this scenario, no other children. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it could possibly, well, children don't, a child doesn't have a choice. And there's one thing that no one can take from us. You can be abused, assaulted. One thing no one can ever take from us is our mindset. And so
Yes.
even as a child going through what we've gone through, And we always
Mm-hmm.
say, well, you read about it in the book, They Made Me Do It. And I
Mm-hmm.
share excerpts of things traumatizing that happened as a child. Even though as a child I did not have the ability to stand up to an adult I had to follow, one thing that they couldn't take was my mindset. So even
They
though I
can't.
said yes, in my mind as a child, I didn't accept it. But I'll accept it
Absolutely.
outwardly because I don't have the physical power, you know. But
Right. At the
inside, I
moment.
never allowed it to penetrate. At the moment, I never did. And again, I only keep it on myself for the child scenario, but that's a personal experience as a child, as to
Absolutely.
someone who didn't have the ability to do anything against an adult. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so, guys, we only say and share these things to empower you because we're all blessed with this
Absolutely.
ability.
Absolutely. And Elle, thank you for once again for sharing that, because, and I hope everyone does grab her book. They Made Me Do It, because the title really is an oxymoron and play on words when you read about the power of choice versus what you may see in the title of that. They Made Me Do It. Elle, see, the thing is rising above the physical manifestations that don't serve you, the ones that do not make you, that wish you do not wish to really have in your life. Um, Elle mentions everybody in that book, but she does it from her perspective, which is the only way the world works. And I love the fact that all of us, so many people assume or are so surprised by our life childhood story based on how success in our life has transpired, that they're like, well, they always had money. Oh, they always had this. Oh, things always worked out for them. And they're actually right that things always do work out for us because we chose to look at it that way. But there are other people who actually experience our life that are on
Yes,
drugs, have died,
correct.
are still in a very bad way. People we grew up with side by side who are being justified by societies like that was a horrific lifestyle. Horrific.
Correct.
You have every right to be on drugs. You have every right to be taking medication. But oh, wait, they grew up with you too? Mike, Elle, their sister? I mean, their brothers? How are they
Mhm.
okay? Because it was up here.
It's true, Mike. It's so true. And guys, again, I can't express enough that this power is within you right now.
Right now.
Vessels just are connected with you right now, Mike and I. Maybe one, you have this flame, you have this power inside of you, and we're just here
Yes.
igniting
But
it
you did it.
because
You did it.
you did it. Yes, 100%. And it's stepping into it more and more and more.
Right.
Start with your inner conversations. Start there.
You have a choice. Yes.
Instead of it being about people you can't control, can you? Can you control someone? You can't. Why fight against it? Why?
And you don't want to. You have enough to do with you that you don't need to control anybody else. And when you
Very
try to
nicely said.
control somebody else, thank you. When you try to control somebody else, you're taking attention off the most important person. You. Stop taking attention off yourself. You're thinking, oh, that's the only person that can make me happy. Wrong. You're the only person that can make you happy. You think that person that you're in love with that may have left or is not where you are right now is what makes your world go around? Guess what, guys? You're looking at the wrong thing. Look inside. And that person, that highlight of your life, there's 10 billion of them. 10 trillion is called infinite. It all came from you anyway. So don't idolize, don't look at someone else as a reason for your happiness or sadness, because that's weakening your power.
Very, very, very nicely said. I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
One thing we can give or perhaps offer into the mind shifting is just catching yourself. So when you're going to make a decision, is
Hmm.
it coming from just because I or you want to do it? Or are you making the decision based off of if I do this, then they're going to do that? Once you
Wow.
become outside the
Yes.
reason the decision's being made, that's it right there. Once somebody else is part of that decision, that just to let that be an alarm for you to be like,
Yes.
oh, Let me actually think about this.
Oh, that's so perfect that you said it because it actually comes from last week's conversation about pausing before you answer someone, just to make sure you're not following that same habitual road. Remember, you said, don't say yes right away. Even if you could, just pause and check and make sure. Because when you're changing who you are, you're still breaking old habits. And so you may go, so as soon as somebody says, hey, Mikey, yes. You don't even hear what they said, but you're so used to saying yes to that person that you may not think
Correct.
about it.
Correct.
Pause.
I was actually looking through our archive. That was The Power of No.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Elle, you're awesome. Elle, you're so awesome. Yes, the power of
Yeah.
no. Just saying no to someone else so you can say yes to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. It truly is. It truly is. Um, and it feels great giving so much power back to yourself. Like to
Yes.
say, what? My whole world, your whole world, the world revolves
Right.
around you. Even changed, it
Absolutely.
revolves around you.
Elle, that's so true. And I'm thinking like the power of no segues in today's assumption about the inside out and stuff like that is
Mm-hmm.
because when you say and you think about your real answer, what you're going to say to somebody, you may have a preconceived notion that if you say something that the person doesn't want to hear, they're going to say this, they're going to do that. If I don't say yes, I'm scared to say no to them because then I know they're going to do that. Why? You're assuming that if you pick something that makes you happy, this person's going to react that way. You've already made a conversation up in your mind. Whether
Mm.
they do or not isn't your concern. But a
Or
lot
your
of times
favorite.
you'll be so surprised that people don't react the way you think they do, especially when you've been practicing the art of being happy yourself. You might, with me, the same people are having so much different responses since I've been practicing happiness. I'm looking around like, are these the same people? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the same person, so why would I get the same responses?
Ooh. Ooh, ooh,
Boom.
ooh. Very good. I love that.
Whoa.
One thing I was actually thinking, you could say, well, Mike, well, Elle, this end, you're saying the inner conversations and this fantasy world we make up don't live in. But on the other spectrum, you're saying, hey, don't live in reality. Envision XYZ. Step into the acting. And yes,
Hmm.
you know, the alignment is your indicator of where it's stemming from.
Yes.
So, and you know how that feels. Does it
Yes.
make you feel good to feel and envision and play in your beautiful desires and swim in that?
Hmm.
Does that make you feel good? Yeah. Does it
Yes.
make you feel good to imagine what somebody's thinking and
Right.
going down this spot? Does that make you feel good?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
if you were thinking of, well, there is no confusion, there's clarity there. Your alignment is the answer.
Wow. Wow. We can end the show and cancel the podcast for the rest of the life if you just listen to that one for the rest of the time. Because that's all we're gonna be saying for the rest of our life. You just summed up everything.
but but it but it is
Yes.
true. It's like your
Yeah.
alignment is the answer. I can't speak on your alignment. What makes
Okay.
you feel happy isn't the same for someone else.
It isn't the same. Oh my God, El, that's so powerful. Stop assuming because this makes you happy that everyone needs to jump on board with you. Do you know there's people that are happy with no money? Truly happy. I know that's for some people can't imagine it. I know there's some people that are truly happy that never want to watch sports, while other people can't imagine they can't watch sports. There's something, so they
Hmm.
try to get on board. Well, let me just show you this. You're going to like this. And they go, no, I really don't. And you get offended. Listen, this is what makes you unique. Two people can like
Yeah,
the same thing, but one person's emotion towards it still going to be stronger or weaker than someone else's.
correct, correct. It might so true, and that does bleeds into the area of judgment. And that's another
Oh,
big one, like releasing judgment.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
it's funny because this one person, when we had a conversation a few weeks ago, they didn't want to talk about, they asked me, how about you rephrase what you said so it comes from a more positive place? And I shared, I said, it's positive to me. I can't
Wow.
speak for you, but
Yes.
it's what got me where I am today because I am
Wow.
able to utilize that. And
Yes.
so
I
for
don't
your,
apologize. Wow.
no, no, no,
Don't
no.
apologize for
And
being you. That's so powerful, Ellie. Wow.
and I love that one for being you, but understanding that what makes that person feel good is different for them and for
Mm.
yourself. And so you don't have to jump into their world and say, like Mike just said, "Oh, no, I'm not sorry. This is what makes me feel good."
Yes, yes, you guys. And before, El, thank you so much because I noticed before we end, I want to say something. I was a very sorry, I'm sorry person before. I would automatic one of my habits. Oh, sorry, guys. Stop saying I'm sorry. Watch how many times
Unless
you
it
be
makes you
more conscious
feel
of,
good.
unless you makes you feel good. Yes, but we're not sorry for being who we are. And I found that my sorry was, oh, sorry. Somebody would say, oh, bump, oh, sorry. And it's like, sorry. And you just find yourself saying sorry all day for being, but you're you, you know what I'm saying? And so that
Hmm.
sorry at first was just lightly, then it was sorry for if I made you upset, sorry. Now, like Ellie just said, if it's a light, oh, sorry, and you know it's just blah, 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 that's okay. But if you had well intentions and someone didn't receive it that way, just the way you explained something, don't be sorry.
Correct.
If you had the right heart and intention and someone didn't see it that way, but you know where the way you were in a positive mode, and someone didn't take it that way, that's not your place to be sorry. And Ella didn't apologize for being who she was.
Hmm. And it was perfect. It was really really beautiful because the person's very. I love our conversations. They're very aligned as well, and it was such an aha moment for everybody. They were like chuckling because they said, "Oh, hey, I didn't even realize that
Yes.
for one person that could actually be."
Actually,
And so
B.
it was a really good. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
guys, this is really really good.
Oh my
Mike,
God.
anything? I was going to say the takeaway for to share with them, which I feel that we already did.
Y- Yes, I do, L. Actually, the thing is, practice the mindfulness of your inner conversations. Practice, stop, practice every time you catch yourself thinking you know what someone's going to say, catch yourself and stop it. This weekend, if there's someone, especially people that are close to us, we're very habitual about assuming, oh, they are going to like this or they're not going to like that. I want you to focus so much on yourself that you are aware of when you start to make a mental conversation of assuming someone's response is going to be this or I know what they're going to say.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just be
Or the
conscious.
outcome of this is going to be X, what?
Yes. Stop
It's
assuming outcomes that don't behoove you or fit what you want to see. Stop it.
yes. And my one last thing
Hmm.
is I wanted to share. There's always two realities that are happening. The option for two realities. You can go down a road based on assumptions, and you can create something
Wow.
that may or may not be unwanted. Or you can go for it in a positive mindset
Hmm.
and do what you're desiring to do. There's literally two roads, and you have the choice. The power is in your hand as
Hmm.
to which one you like to take your steps into.
Right. And the better road sounding road has infinite happy possibility endings that not even endings because nothing ends, but revelations that are beyond the conscious mind. So L's saying go down that one road, the positive, happy one, and not only are you going to get what you want, but L, would you say most of the time we get more than what we expected?
Dude,
This will start a whole nother podcast.
you think you know what you
you,
want?
you don't.
Oh God! Just all I can say is start with getting outside of your inner conversations, make the
Yes,
decision from a good place, and be ready to be pleasantly surprised.
because you will be guaranteed.
You certainly will be. This is really
Ha-
good. I enjoyed
it's
it.
been awesome. It's been so time flies when we hang out with everybody. And thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. It's going to be so fun.
Happy Friday. Yep.
Happy freaking Friday.
All right, Mike.
All
We're
right.
here.
Boom. Boom. Let's
High
do
five.
it. There you go. All right. See you,
Yeah.
everybody. Have a great weekend.
Catch you on Tuesday.
See ya.